I want to talk about the economy. This is Biden. I thought Bidenomics were working. This was, the American Rescue Plan that, sunsetted and such. This was the child tax credit that sunsetted. This was expanded unemployment and food stamps, and that a lot of them have sunsetted. But this is the Inflation Reduction Act guy. This is get money back on, energy saving updates to your home and electric vehicles. Like, this is some student loan debt relief, piecemeal and maybe complicated and convoluted, but many people have had their debt wiped out. Why isn't that breaking through when it comes to the economy? How the hell are we at a moment where people are looking at Trump and going, yeah, he wasn't bad? I mean, people who eat rocks, but still people.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, I think there was absolutely some useful, progressive, influenced legislation that Biden passed in the first half of his presidency and has continued to do some things, especially on climate change, the IRA, some student debt cancellation for sure, a child tax credit for a few months for sure. But I also think you're right, all those things fucking sunsetted and people stopped getting the benefits of those. Child poverty was massively cut during the child tax credit. And then for some reason we chose to say, fuck it, we don't need to do it anymore. And nothing has really been going on since. People's lives are not improving on a day-to-day basis. They are not necessarily going to see the benefits of infrastructure investments this year,
Right.
And so they need to see what this president is actually doing for them. And what they have seen this month when people are talking to them is only one issue this president is talking about, and it is supremely standing with Israel and its right to defend itself and ensuring that we can always give them money. And it's just you have moms working 3 jobs watching these press conferences and they're just like, why the fuck are we sending this money there when I need to feed my kids? I would love to work 2 jobs instead of 3. And so it's just baffling to see kind of the administration go 10 toes deep into supporting a genocidal military and thinking that we should put all of our money there instead of into the people that elected him. Or doing any progressive policies. The UAW had a historic strike that just led to historic agreements that almost none of us could really find the time to celebrate because we were too busy trying to stop this president from doing a genocide. And he was also too busy trying to help a genocide instead of being like, congrats, Sean Fain.
And he walked the picket line. I mean, this is the goodwill that I would say that a lot of these wins have been really wonky, and also because it's piecemeal or because it's okay, Medicare can negotiate drug prices, but not until 2024, or is it 6? I can't remember. It's not happening for all of these things are well, the wonk told me that this was good, and it's that doesn't translate to everyday people. But the one thing that maybe could have broken through was oh my God, president walked the picket line. Maybe first time in history he did that. That's tight. And that got immediately undermined because of this bullshit. And so I'm just I guess the other thing I'm looking at is are they going to roll out any kind of do they have, I hope there are plans in the next year, if nothing else, than to talk about some of the things they did. I mean, I also feel it's not nothing that Biden took the pandemic seriously and helped people get vaccinated.
Totally.
But nobody wants to talk about that, including them, because that's nobody wants to talk about the pandemic. I don't know. My brain.
It's honestly fucking baffling. I don't really know what they are doing at all. I think there is this idea, if you read history books, that wartime presidents are popular. And I think that's the case if it was 1941. But it is 2023, and the American public is watching us get involved in a conflict that truly all of them think we have no business being a part of, except a very small, very vocal majority. And that is all that they're talking about. They're not even, a few months before this, Biden announced that he was going to launch a civilian climate corps, which is what the Sunrise Movement has been calling for years, which was huge and could be great and would make thousands of new jobs and green union jobs. But that is not what we're hearing. That is not what he's talking about, and that is not what he is prioritizing. All
Right.
that they are prioritizing is this war, and I think people are just frankly tired of hearing about it, and tired of hearing that our country is the one that's the only one that's funding this genocide alongside Israel.
Yeah, and look, I have major disagreements with the right on their you know, right, because the right is freaking out about money to Ukraine, because a lot of them probably somehow receive Russian money vis-a-vis dark money group. This is my this is my opinion. Possibly through the NRA, but the point is, the right loves to talk about, oh, we should never send money to Ukraine. This is ridiculous. Putin's amazing. Putin did nothing wrong. And then when it comes to Israel, it isn't just being mum. I mean, funny enough, they don't want to agree with Biden, and it's very difficult to go to the right of Biden. They're trying to go to the right of Biden. There's not a lot of room to be to the right of Biden on this right now. So instead, and we sort of hat tipped this earlier, they're going after any Muslim politician, or specifically Rashida Tlaib. I'm sure Ilhan Omar is getting more death threats these days, but they're weaponizing and the anti-Semitism claim, going after Rashida Tlaib, censuring her, and whatnot. So I guess I'm curious about what you think. It's like we can't. There's not even a lane for us to call the right wing on their double standard BS, because they're full throated and full throttle in agreement with sending more weapons to Israel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy to watch people who have recorded history of anti-Semitic comments, anti-Semitic rants, and them come out to be like, we need to condemn Rashida Tlaib for saying, from the river to the sea, and we need to send billions in weapons to Israel. And it's just like, these are not good faith actors. These are actors who are acting on behalf of a lobby, who
Mm-hmm.
ensures that they will get reelected, who ensures that, come next year, their FEC chart will show that they got a few $1,000s from whichever one of APAC's super PACs they want to do. And so I think, as it always has been, it's always been about who can buy these politicians the quickest. And Republicans have always been willing to be bought by anyone who's pro-war. And
Mm-hmm.
right now, that is the defense lobby and the Israel lobby. And they are, that is why APAC proudly endorsed 106 insurrectionists who voted to overturn Joe Biden's election, including all 15 of the people who ran for speaker this year for the Republicans, including our Christian fascist nationalist king, Mike Johnson. And it's like, Mike Johnson doesn't care about Israeli lives. Mike Johnson doesn't care about Jewish people in America. Mike Johnson just wants to be Speaker of the House and get reelected and be able to ensure that he can ban abortion eventually.
Yeah.
And that's what this lobby is funding on, is basically saying, screw every other priority that Democratic voters care about, be it our democracy or abortion rights. We have to put all of our efforts into arming the Israeli military.
Yep. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/Bitchuation Room. Do